Hi, everyone, and thank you for tuning in once again to Yachting International Radio. This is an edition of Palma Yacht Crew Vlogs. My name is Ria. I am your host, and today I'm really pleased to introduce Edward Pegan. How are you?
Very good, Ria. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming on board. You are a managing partner of Luise Yachting, the Adriatic out of Venice.
Yes, I've been in the yachting industry for about 20 years, maybe a little bit more. That's why I'm a little bit gray up here. But I'm the managing partner for the Italian Adriatic. So from the Venice office, we oversee and coordinate the offices along the Adriatic coast on the Italian side, from Trieste to the north, down through Puglia in the southern region.
So, what are you guys experiencing there? I mean, Venice is an absolutely beautiful area. I've been through there in my travels, and it's stunning. Um, what are you noticing right now? What's going on with the port situation? What's going on with travel? Give us a little overview of what Venice is like at the moment.
Okay, well, it depends how far back you want me to go as far as, describing what we've kind of gone through. But if I can do it quickly, I think starting around the 24th, more or less, of February, I remember that date because that's when kids stopped going to school. But probably even a little bit before then is when things started to ramp up here as far as this virus. And I think for a week, maybe 2 weeks, there was a gradual increase of restrictions of places being open, whether it was bars and restaurants or gatherings, churches, even shops and offices. So really the big date for us happened on the 8th of March for Northern Italy. And I think it was the day after for the rest of Italy, where we're basically on serious lockdown here. So when it comes to non-essential businesses, everyone's closed. We can't really be out walking around. You can go to the shops to get what your necessities are. You can work if you have an essential job. If you want to go outside to exercise, to have a walk, or take the dog out, you have to remain, I think it's 150 meters from your house. Even when you're out, there's of course the social distancing of being at least around 3 or 4 meters from other people. So things are really shut down here.
Well, as far as Venice goes, when they first started implementing sort of social distancing and lockdown, did the shipyards and the marinas and stuff close right away, or was there still some work going on?
Well, yes and no. I mean, this also caught us at a time, Venice in certain parts of the Adriatic are not like the south of France or the Spain, where there are a lot of yards and there are a lot of marinas that are active throughout the winter months. We are definitely a seasonal operation for the most part here, and we generally work between, let's say, May, beginning or mid-May, until the end of September. So it kind of hit us at a time when it generally is slow for the most part. So we haven't really had to deal with that. We do have some yachts in marinas, and we do have some yachts in shipyards in our region, and things are pretty well locked down. Like I say, a disembarking or embarking crew has become a big no-no, unless it's just an absolute emergency. But of course, we still need to take care of those customers. So provisions, setting up doctor's appointments, the essential needs of day-to-day life that they have to have, even though most of them are stuck on board.
So you're making sure that everybody is well looked after. Everything is pretty much completely shut down. Do you have any idea how long this is going to continue? Is it still sort of unending, as it were?
Well, it just, we all follow the news every day and we watch the updated press conferences and all that. All of my people are working from home, at least for now. And the dates that we're kind of looking at, something I saw this morning from one of I think it was the president of the region, looking at the numbers here, but also everywhere, it seems like we've probably hit our peak. And by that, I mean the upper part of the curve. We do have some zigzags up and down, but for the last 5, 6, 7 days, the number of new cases has remained for the most part the same. And like I say, going up and down a little bit, but we seem to be on a very light downturn. So if that keeps up, looking at the model that I just saw this morning, if that keeps up, we're looking to kind of hit 0 new cases right around, I think it was the 22nd of April, 21st, 22nd of April, where in theory we might hit that zero line, and then it will still be another 2 to 3 weeks remaining at 0 before we're kind of free to go, let's say.
So you will have a season. It's just going to maybe be, maybe a month late.
There are so many question marks on that because,
Yeah.
If I speak specifically about Venice, because again, that's where I'm at, we may come out of this a little quicker than other places simply because we went into it a little quicker than other places. And while we may be the safest and cleanest place to go to in a few weeks or a month, a lot of the customers are coming from somewhere else. So we see what France is going through, what Spain is going through, the UK, the United States. And a lot of our boats are coming from those areas, and a lot of our guests are coming from those areas. So it also depends when they're kind of cleared to move around. So it's a big question mark. We're assuming that we will lose a big chunk of the season, I would say, and again, hopefully it goes better and quicker than we hope, and maybe be able to salvage some of that. But we just don't know.
Are there any contingency plans in place in regards to perhaps the season not coming to fruition?
It depends on what do you mean by contingency plans, as far as the running of my office, as far as the industry
Well,
in general?
as far as the industry in general, and is the government planning on stepping in and giving any sort of aid?
Well, for us, they already have. So like I said, we've had people at home basically working at home, even if there's little to do, since the 8th of March. The government has, at least the Italian government, has given us the possibility of doing something which is called a suspension of activity. So it doesn't mean that we're closing our doors, and it doesn't mean that people are losing their jobs. It means that we can pay our employees for a couple of months without doing anything, and then the government will potentially reimburse us for that. So it's almost kind of getting laid off, if that's the way you want to put it. But the technical side of it is, instead of our employees waiting for a few months for a government check or from assistance from the government as far as a layoff, they're allowing us to anticipate that money directly to our employees with the intention when that money's cleared or free, it will go back to us. It's not the entire salary. I think it's the first month, it's approximately 90%. The second part is 80%, or the second month, sorry. And then we just have to wait and see. Hopefully we'll be having some work.
Well, at least they created it smoother, because if you had to lay people off and then they had to wait and they had to go through all the paperwork, et cetera, and then the rehiring process when this all ends, it does seem to be a much smoother way of doing things.
And not everybody's doing that. I mean, that's an option that we've had. Some people, and I won't say other people who do what we do, but just a lot of businesses in general have simply laid off people, or they've closed up, and then they have to deal with that on their own. It was an internal decision by the Luise Group that we would do that with our employees because one, we are optimistic that something will happen for some part of the season, but also we've been around for a long time. I think 172 years for the Luise family, something like that. But even a lot of the people who work with me, they've been with me for a long time, and they're like family. So our first priority, besides the health of everyone, is making sure that our people in our offices are taken care of, and that we keep a continuity with our business.
It's very commendable, because there's going to be businesses out there that don't see it that way. They're sort of number one first and their people second. You are definitely looking after your people is really good to see.
Well, we take that seriously, and we're also in a position to be able to do it. I think some people or some businesses who have made other plans or have gone about things, maybe they're forced to. We're in a position that we can do that, so we're also grateful to be in that position.
Well, let's talk about something that is a bit more positive, because I think we've been talking just straight across the board all over social media. We've seen a lot of negativity. We've seen a lot of sort of doom and gloom, but something magical is happening straight across the face of the planet as well. Have you seen any changes in the environment as a whole in Venice? Have you seen the canals clearing up? Have you seen fish? Have you seen clearer air, cleaner air?
For sure, the air is clearer. I have a terrace, and I can go out and look up at the stars at night and actually see stars. A lot of times we don't, because of the smog or because of the overhead coverage. But for sure, the air quality is cleaner. And you can see that, but also if you look, news programs and others have put up, those graphics of a couple of weeks ago, and so much smog over the country, and now there's just very little. For Venice, without a doubt, the water quality is cleaner or clearer. We have a lot of motorboat traffic, because this city lives in and on the water. So a lot everything we do is by boat. Distribution of goods, healthcare services, public transport, everything is done on the water. And that, of course, is going to create some pollution, whether we like that or not. Another phenomenon with Venice is we have a very muddy bottom and a lot of shallow canals and shallow areas. So when there's boat traffic, a lot of that gets churned up. So the water is a muddy color. With no boat traffic, or very little, and with some of the cleaner, the cleaner aspects of what's going on environmentally, the water has cleared up. That sediment has settled. There's less pollution, and so you do see clear canals. You do see clear fish. I haven't seen any, but apparently we've had some dolphins out and about inside the lagoon. So those are nice things. The city itself is very quiet, and it's also kind of nice to see Venice without so many tourists. Obviously, we need tourism here to survive, and we want that. But it is nice to see Venice in a peaceful way, and the people, I think, not just here but everywhere, have changed and are treating each other nicely. People they wait in queues, wait in lines at the shops. People are giving a hand to older people, and they'll do their shopping for them. And there just seems to be a spirit of community, and just trying to get through this together and come out on the other side in the best way possible.
It's almost as if life has set a reset button.
I think I've heard that a few times, and I agree with it. But it's forced us to. I mean, when have we ever seen on a global scale people staying at home because they're forced to? Businesses closing down. I mean, the economy obviously is in a very bad spot. We'll see how long that takes to rebound, but everybody's going through this together, and it's not just people in Venice. It's people everywhere in Italy, in Europe, across the globe, and it's forcing people to maybe look around and say, "Hey, this is the end of it all. This is us together. Let's try to be, more positive with each other and more helpful to one another."
Well, I think it is a positive, and rather than the doom and gloom, we are going to continue on as an industry. The yachting industry will carry on. It's just going to be a new normal, and it's going to be something different, and we're going to see a much better environment and much kinder people all the way around, and I think that's a benefit.
I think it's a benefit too, and we hope that side of it will last.
Well, we can have our fingers crossed to be positive thinkers anyway.
Sure.
Well, thank you very much. This has been Edward Pegan for your time, because I know you're extremely busy. You are a managing partner of the Luise Yachting for the Adriatic. You have a specific area. Sorry, I have forgot the area again.
Yeah, for Luise Yachting in the Adriatic, I cover, or my office covers, from Trieste to the north, which is up near the Slovenian border, down through the Puglia region, which is basically the heel, as we like to call in Italy, the boot. It's the heel of the boot. So we basically take care of the entire east coast of Italy.
Well, wonderful. If anybody is ever in that area and needs some help, we'll make sure that we provide your information, so that when things do get up and running again, that they can get in touch with you if they need your services.
Hey, thanks so much. That's very kind.
No, thank you. Once again, you have been listening to another edition of Palma Yacht Crew Vlogs right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Ria. I have been your host, and we'll see you next time.